he's gonna have just an incredible year. I mean, his announcement at WPW. Oh, geez, now I have to remember the name of it because we had Breaking Point, Returning Point, Boiling Point. There we go. Uh, him, I'm just really curious on what
You're
they're
welcome for those names, by the way.
Well, honestly, when you guys put out Breaking Point, I'm thinking to myself, oh boy, we're gonna get into a WWE style deal here. It's like every match is a submission match or something like that, where they just throw an I Quit match in there. Whatever happens, happens. But yeah, at Boiling Point, when Sadis made the challenge to Logan Lynch, it's just one of those things where I just get goosebumps even think about it now, where it's just like, Logan Lynch is the future. Sadis is one of the best, if not the best, in all of Wisconsin, as you mentioned. And now, hyping up definitely the ACW show coming up in June. But unfortunately, as it's been mentioned, Ken Anderson can't make it to the show, so we get a rematch from Breaking Point, which we see Sadis versus Joey Avalon. This time, no disqualifications, no countouts. Oh boy, that's going to be insane.
It is, and what's going to be the best part about that match is that Sadis is so hungry for that shot at the title that I really think he's just going to maul Avalon. I know they've gone back and forth everywhere in the state for years and years, but he's been waiting almost 10 years for a shot at the ACW title. From the old ACW to the current ACW, he's never had that shot. So I feel so bad for Avalon for being in that position, and I know he's tough, and I know he's got a million tricks in his bag, but Sadist wants that title more than anything, and he will destroy Avalon to get there. And then I feel so bad when Ken comes back. Welcome home, Ken. Here's a body bag.
Oh man, that is actually pretty true. I mean, I remember during the ACW WrestleCon show where, oh geez Louise, again Sadist hit that spear on Kevin Thorne, and Kevin Thorne was just out for a little while. Did Thorne get knocked out during that matchup? Because I never really got clarification on what happened during that time.
He sure did.
Oh
yeah, he did.
Oh
yeah.
Boy.
And I know from vast experience that Sadist spear is the hardest I've ever had, ever. He pulls nothing back. It's like it being hit by a truck.
Oh boy, I know that way too well. And geez Louise, I mean, I honestly was not expecting that, but then as soon as I saw that moment where Kevin Thorne was just down for 2-3 minutes at least, I literally thought, oh my god, Sadist is going to be the most intense guy to beat. Ken Anderson, nice knowing you, bud, but you're going to get just like you said. Here's a body bag. Probably want to we'll sign a couple, waivers, just to make sure that you're. It's not that we don't have faith in you. It's just just need your autograph. It's fine.
Just the power that Sadist has and the steam that he's building up behind him. There's nothing that's going to stop him. Nothing.
So you've been in ACW for quite a while. What makes this company different from a lot of the other independent companies in Wisconsin?
It's a family. We're all a family. We're all out for the same goal. It's not like people, going into business for themselves or just showing up for a payday. We are all working towards the same goal, and that's to make every one of our shows better than the one before. And it's working. We have so many people behind the scenes who are all have their pieces of the puzzle, and it makes it a very well-run machine rather than where you would see a normal place in Wisconsin where there's one or two guys running it and that's it. They're responsible for everything. That's not what happens here. It's incredible. I ran WPW I was the booker there for a year and a half, and I've done more in the last 4 months than I did in that entire year and a half. But I'm not sweating. It's not a job for me anymore. I realize that it's a family business. We have a goal to bring in 400 plus people and give them a really awesome show, and that's what we do. And everybody's an important part of that, from the referee to the gal smile at the door to everyone. Everyone. We're all part of this. So I'm very, very thankful to be part of this.
Wow.
For sure.
That is definitely saying a lot. I know a lot of wrestling promotions that say, it's like, oh, we're a family. We are. They say it, but they don't actually mean it. But for you to go out and say it and give examples of why you say that, that is amazing. That's always really good to see. And just seeing like the close bond between a lot of these wrestlers, it's just amazing. And again, some of the matches that they create are just wow. It is just incredible. I mean, some of the matches that I never thought that would be really good turn out to be some of the best matches. I'm like, wow, they really went all out in this one. It's just insane what they do. Now, we actually had a conversation about this, and you kind of called yourself the Terry Funk of our generation. Would you care to kind of elaborate a little bit on that?
I have been trying to leave wrestling for as long as I've been in it. I've tried to walk away. I've tried to slow down. I've tried to, not cancel bookings, but slow my bookings down, slow down what I'm doing physically, and it never seems to happen. There's always something that brings me back in, and it's happening again. I think my shoulder's wrecked. I'm taking time off. That's what happened last year. Wrecked my shoulder, took time off, lost the tag titles. I said, that's it. I'm done. And I thought, wait a minute, I have this idea. I'm going to come back and I'm going to beat the crap out of Swoggle. And that just turned into a snowball effect where it just got bigger and bigger. And now I realize, like, even though I'm hurt right now, we have all these shows the rest of the year that I can come and do stuff. I can still be involved. I can still, run the website. I can still make the graphics. I still just keep getting myself involved when I know that deep down I would love to just sit at home. But our schedule is so nice that doing a show every other month, I don't have to kill myself every week. I can spread out 2 months worth of work and then get to the show. It's great. We all go home. Everybody's happy. So the schedule is what's keeping me doing it now. But I jokingly had a retirement match in like 4 different cities last year. I've retired in Oshkosh, Stevens Point, De Pere. Where else? There was somewhere else. Oh, Kiel. So I just retire every match I have.
Well, I was about to say, like, the first matchup that I saw you in Spencer, didn't you kind of, like, quote-unquote retire there as well?
Probably. I'm sure I did. I think I left UWA probably 3 times, and it never really stuck. So yeah, I'm still leaving.
Well, actually, I think of you more as like the Tommy Dreamer deal, because if you kind of knew the story behind when Tommy Dreamer was trying to leave WWE, he basically said to Vince, I'm done, I'm gone. And then, like, about a week or 2 later, they said they had a meeting, and Vince was just saying, like, book Tommy for this. This matchup here kind of sucks. And everybody was just saying, well, Tommy no longer works here. And Vince just says, what the fuck happened to Tommy? It's like, it's one of those things where I'm guessing promoters are just saying the same thing. It's like, what the hell happened to Nathan? I mean, it's like, he no longer works here. He says he's done. He's done. No, we need him for this show, man. He's perfect for this. I mean, he's got all this fan nation and everything like that. But I think honestly, I'm looking forward to seeing the rivalry just continue between you and Swoggle, because again, you guys put on one hell of a match at WrestleCon, and I think it's just going to snowball effect even more and more, which now gets us more involved into June 2nd, the ACW show, which will feature, of course, Sadist versus Joey Avalon, no DQ. Winner gets a title shot, loser just goes home empty-handed. Do you have anything else that you want to add to that show? Because, this is the part where we do shameless, cheap plugs. So.
I think as of now there are 6 matches. 5 of them have been announced. I honestly don't know what the 6th is. All I know is that Maru and Devlin Kane are going to come and they're going to beat somebody up, which is going to be fantastic. Those are 2 of the, I would say they're 2 of the best guys from the La Crosse, Eau Claire, all that area over there. And I'm so happy that they're finally getting their shot to come to ACW, because they're powerful. I've been in the ring with Devlin Kane before, and he's a monster. I've seen him do things that sadists can do. I've seen him do things to sadists that were just so sadistic, and he's a good 6 inches shorter than sadist. So for him to have that kind of power, for him to have that presence, Maru has the same, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be really cool for the fans of ACW to see these guys interject themselves into what we're doing. I think the other one that was just announced last night was TW3 and Johnny Smash for the first time ever, which is a personal dream match of mine because they were both my roommates years ago. So to have like all that personal history behind them, and now first time ever they're given a chance to go out there in front of 400 plus people, God willing, and put on a show. It's going to be awesome. I'm very happy that match is on there. It's top to bottom. It's going to be a fantastic show, and I'm very happy that I'm not a part of it. I'm able to just sit in the back and watch. I'm able to just spectate, be there without being there. I think that's going to be my favorite part.
Well, we can only hope that's the case. But so final question I think I would have for you is that when all is said and done, you finally have reached that point of, being fully retired. You got all the bookings done. You finally got everything said and done. You ride off into the sunset. What is the one thing that you want to leave behind when it comes to your legacy as well as your career as a professional wrestler?
I want to leave behind a better example than I was given when I started. And that's what I try to do with all of the guys at the ACW Training Academy. It's what I've tried to leave behind for Colin Brooks and Adam Grace, who started just a few years ago, just to try to leave that example that no matter how much you do, no matter how much you learn, no matter how far you go in this business, you're never done learning and you're never done helping people. I still, 11 years later, I'm setting up rings and tearing them down. Not because I have to, but because I want to. I want to leave that impression on these guys that just because you've had, 5 years in and you won these titles wherever, those titles don't matter. The amount of years don't matter. You're part of a show, and whatever you can do to make that show the best it can possibly be, that's what you should do. So I think it's that, leaving behind a better example than I got when I started.
Well, definitely. Oh, yeah. I think that's real. I think that's really cool. Definitely. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to wrap it up for this edition of Mayhem in May. Yes, that's still not as catchy as people might think. Of course, here we're joined here by Raging Nathan Gus. Thank you so much for taking your time out of your busy schedule. Just prepping, and also with your shoulder, recovery. Best of luck, and hopefully, you have a speedy recovery, and that you come back here, stronger than ever, and put on some still some really good matches.
I look forward to the journey. I'm going to go take my first shower in a week and see how gross these scars are. So thank you for having me.
Of course, not a problem. Thank you guys so much for joining us here. Of course, here for the Elite Ringside Network, which you can find us on Facebook.com/ER Network 24/7, which is also our Twitter handle. How convenient. Of course, you can follow me on Twitter at NateFandGreat. Sure to tune in also for Raw Reaction, Smack Talk, Change the F Up, with so many more things that are coming on this week. Later on this week, also special interview with Mr. Referee, Mr. TJ Bowles. That is going to be awesome. By all means, leave your questions and leave him a sandwich, because he's getting to that point where the sandwich is becoming his moniker right now. So thank you so much, guys, for joining us here, and we will see you guys later. So this is Nate the Effing Great signing off. Peace.